Well, President Trump today slamming intelligence officials and the media over illegally leaked information while directing the Department of Justice to investigate.
Everybody saw this. And I'm saying, the first thing I thought of when I heard about it is, how does the press get this information that's classified? How do they do it? You know why? Because it's an illegal process, and the press should be ashamed of themselves. But more importantly, the people that gave out the information to the press should be ashamed of themselves. Really ashamed.
Well, joining me now, Tom Dupree, the former Deputy Assistant Attorney General in the Bush administration. And Tom, listen, this is a whodunit. And I suspect you and everybody, your old colleagues, are all buzzing about, who do you think did it? How did especially the phone calls to the Prime Minister of Australia and the President of Mexico, how did those get out?
Right. Well, a lot of times in the executive branch, you have a number of people who have access to classified information. These could range from high-level political appointees to just apolitical civil servants whose role puts them in place to get access to the classified information. And so you could have a situation where you could have anywhere from a dozen to 50 or more people, all with a variety of interests and motives, and some of whom might be the leakers in this case. It also could be more than one leaker. You know, we've been talking about the leaker, but in some of these cases, you could have multiple leaks if there's several different people, maybe several different motives, turning this material over to reporters.
All right. So many times we hear stories about investigations are going to be held, and we never hear another thing about it. Do you believe that there is going to be somebody that's going to face the music and we're going to know who it is? Name, date, serial number.
I'm very confident there will be a robust investigation. I can't be quite as confident that they will actually track down the leaker. I mean, look, leak investigations can be notoriously difficult to conduct, particularly, as I was saying, if you have a large universe of people who had access to the information, it can be hard to put the fingerprints on the leak. But I have no doubt that there are going to be multiple investigations of this. They're going to try to get to the bottom of it. It's something that the government can, should, and I'm confident will take very seriously.
So if I'm working in some national security level, and I see something that, oh, this is juicy, I'm going to call my friend over at the XYZ media and let them know. If you know I have access to it, but I pick up my private cell phone and make the call, so you don't know that it's me calling them, do you have access to my personal records if I'm working in national security?
Right. Well, that's the thing. A lot of times you don't. I mean, if people are working from government resources, if they're sending emails on government computers, government phones, that's very easy to capture.
Yeah, but I'm not that dumb. I'm going to use my personal phone.
Let's assume these are smart leakers and they're doing it from their garage on their personal phone. That's a lot tougher. You know, you typically can't get that information voluntarily. It's possible you could go to court and compel people to turn it over, but it's not often that leak investigations go that far. A lot of times what you'll see is you'll see interviews, you'll see canvassing of government materials, but then the investigation will end there. So it'll be interesting to see how far they push it in this case.
The accusation could be Obama holdovers. And since the Attorney General, Sessions, was just on the job, there was an opportunity there for a lot of high-level Obama holdovers. Are you thinking that's a legitimate place to look?
I think that's a very legitimate place to look. Anytime you have a shift in administration, there's going to be friction, particularly so in this case where there's obviously a lot of turmoil caused from the Obama to the Trump shift. Let's also not forget that there could be permanent career employees who, for whatever reason, maintain loyalty to the prior administration, and they basically saw this as an opportunity to weaponize classified information in order to score political points. If that's what happened, I think it is outrageous and it is wrong, but you just can't rule it out at this point.
I hope they catch him. Tom Dupree, thank you so much for your expertise. Appreciate it.
Great. Thank you.